Caitlin, hi. You're saying that you're concerned about the HSC, which I understand to be the exam, basically your high school certification. So the good news is that it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for five reasons. The first is what makes a person is not a diploma. You know, most of reality existed in a time where people didn't even go to school. So having a diploma doesn't make or break a human being. What makes or breaks a human being are other things that we'll discuss. The second thing is most of the jobs of the future have yet to be invented. We're talking about 5 years, about 50% of the future jobs have yet to be invented. In 10 years, 85%. In other words, and this is an important thing for you to realize, there are basically two things you need to know about getting a job, which life is not about getting a job. A job is only about life. And ideally, as a woman, hopefully you get married and hopefully you have a husband that can support you while you raise children. So having a job, being a mother, is the best job and the most meaningful job and the lasting job that will exist. But be that as it may, you see, there are two things you have to understand about a job. Computers will take over anything that computers are good at, but computers are not good at basically being human. Things that need a sensitivity, things that need empathy. And so those things really, it doesn't really matter, as long as you basically pass, let's say you go into nursing school, you'll always need nurses. Computers won't take over that. And so those kind of things are always available, and really how much you get and how little you get doesn't matter. And the second thing is that, if you're a kind of person that's kind of really ambitious, well, you're going to have to be ready to keep on learning, because even as I know computer programming, but even that, there are new languages coming out all the time. So what you know in the past doesn't matter. It's really, in a way, your ability to learn in the present and kind of always shift. And really, I would say this leads us to the next thing. What is life about and how can you be happy? Because I don't think people can really be happy if they're always having to shift. I mean, it's like you can't even have stability. So, of course, the goal of life is that as a human being, God revealed himself through Moses. The Bible's revered by the vast majority of the human race, and my study is Jewish mysticism. It's the essence. And so we all have to realize that we have basically two missions in life. The first is to be civil, to be a good person. And in order to be a good person, you have to understand there are 7 laws, which is not to curse God, not to worship idols, not to basically be cruel to animals, not to murder, not to steal, not to commit adultery, and to have a justice system which you obey. Every country without a justice system becomes anarchy. And so those are your obligations. But then there's another reality, is that's when you want to become spiritual. Then you say, okay, I am civil. Now what? Well, life is about love. It's about goodness. It's about kindness. It's about caring. It's about empathy. If you see something that you can do it. And that's how you're going to make a life. Life comes through giving. It doesn't come through taking. And this whole system and this insanity, which is, it's about grades and your career. Well, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not giving money, as studies show, it's not going to make you happy. But if you do give money, or you give anything, it doesn't have to be money. It's just your love. And so I saw you posted a question about your boyfriend basically getting depressed and he hurts himself. So I think that is relating to the people basically feel empty, and it's sort of a way of giving themselves some kind of energy. So the best thing you can do is get them out into nature, go for walks, bring some energy to the table. And so to have energy, you have to do 3 things. The first thing is when you wake up in the morning, you have to thank God for your blessings. Gratitude creates positive energy, especially the first thing you do in the morning, because when you wake up, you are in a very special moment. It's a transition of the soul from heaven to earth. And you can capture that positive energy, and that comes through gratitude. Think about everything you have. You have eyes, you have a parents, you have a house, you have a roof. A lot of people don't have those things, and you can be grateful. The second thing is ask God to send you someone you can help. You know, if life is only about taking, we can never be happy. But if it's about giving, we can always be happy. So if you have a mind, who can I help today? And you're outward focused, not inward focused, you'll be okay. The last thing is it's very important every night to consider your past, consider your day. Am I happy? You see, we're like in a way an actor in our own movie, but often we don't consider ourselves. So if you don't like stop and watch your behavior, how are you going to change it? You can't. So you have to stop every night, say, am I happy with the way I'm thinking? Am I happy with the way I'm speaking? Am I happy with the way I'm acting? And decide how you would like to improve. It's never about guilt. It's always about improving. I promise you, if you listen to my advice, which comes from thousands of years of the most amazing rabbis and teachings, you will find within a very short time you'll have an awesome life.